Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So I'm going to try to keep this as short and sweet as possible. So let's jump right in. This is the Amazon Fire Phone versus the Moto X 2014. Let's get it. All right, guys, so this is an unexpected battle, but when you have nice devices like this, you want to go ahead and put them up against each other and see who can actually win. So I'm going to try to keep this really short because I'm recording this in 4K. So I wanted to give you a nice clear video, and let's do it. So first, let's run down the specs like always. We're going to do the Amazon Fire Phone first. So the Amazon Fire Phone, in comparison to the Moto X, packs a 4.7-inch display. This is a 720 display with a pixel density of 312 pixels per inch, opposed to the Moto X's 5.2-inch display that comes in at 1080p at 424 pixels per inch. Now, does that mean a lot to you? Probably not. You just want to know if the screen is going to be clear. So both of these are unlocked, and they both have LTE in the US, and they both work great on AT&T and T-Mobile and every GSM provider out there. So next, this one takes a nano SIM, this one takes a nano SIM, which is great. But believe it or not, even though this has a metal frame, this one is actually heavier. This weighs 144 grams, this weighs 160. These are about the same height, as you can see, but the at its thickest point, this is a little bit thicker. It's just 10 millimeters, but it tapers off to about 3.9 millimeters, which is really nice. Let's see, this has an AMOLED display, and this is IPS display. They both have Corning Gorilla Glass 3, but this has it on the front and the back. So, something to be aware of. This is running a custom overlay over Android 4.4. So really what you're looking at is, you can't even tell this is Android. It's the Fire OS 3.5 that's upgradable to 3.6.5, whatever that means. This has 5.0. This came with 4.4, but Lollipop popped up immediately, and I updated after a while to 5.0. So stock Android versus a custom overlay. Now, next, we got the processing power. This has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 800, and this has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 801. This is clocked at 2.2, a Crate 400, and this is 2.5 Crate 400. 330 and 330 for the Adreno. For the graphics, they're both the same. This comes in a 32 gig and a 64 gig, and with 2 gigs of RAM, and this comes in a 16, 32, or 64 gig with 2 gigs of RAM. This has a 13 megapixel camera. This has a 13 megapixel camera, but this camera can shoot in 4K, which is pretty sweet. They both have geotagging and HDR. Stay tuned in the video. I might go ahead and post some pictures, and we'll see how that goes. This has Dolby Digital surround sound with stereo speakers, which is just phenomenal. And this actually has one front-facing speaker, which is really loud. It's really loud. This has a 2.1 megapixel on the front, and this has a 2 megapixel on the front. They both have dual band Wi-Fi, and they both can do 5 gigahertz, which is a huge plus. I hate not being able to connect to 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. I think it's horrible if you can't do that. So, what's next? Battery. The battery on this one is a 2400 milliamp battery, and this one is a 2300 milliamp battery. This is a complete custom. You can build this however you want. The Moto X you can do whatever you want to do to it. And this one is just how it comes. So, let's get into the battle. All right, the first thing I want to start with is the screen. So, just asking which one has the better screen is kind of a meh, you know. And all of these are completely subjective, and there's just no way to get around it. It's completely subjective. There's no way for me to say what I'm saying is correct. So if you disagree, I completely understand. And I hope that some people probably would have their own opinions about it, I would think. All right, so screen quality, as I stated before, this one is 720p, and this one is actually 1080p. And this is a 5.2-inch display packed into a body that's almost the same as a phone that has a 4.7-inch display. Truly amazing. Just beautiful. But that doesn't mean that this display is much better than this one. They both look really, really good. They both are sharp. Since this is a smaller display, it kind of appears to be just as clear and just as sharp as this 1080p display. It's 4.7 again, and this is 5.2. But I got to give the edge to the screen. Definitely has to go to the Moto X. It has a much clearer, it has a much clearer screen, and it's a bigger screen. So it's just beautiful in day-to-day web browsing, gaming, whatever. Gaming on this one is really nice. I mean, look at it. It's a 5.2-inch display. It's just beautiful. So, build quality. Here's where the Moto X always wins. This actually has Corning Gorilla Glass 3 on both sides. And it's got like this matte, rubbery feel around the entire device. It's got speakers on the top and bottom. I mean, this thing is just beautiful. Black slate, but it's not an AMOLED display, so you can actually see the display when the screen's off, which is pretty cool. The animated there, but you can see the screen. You can see the actual framing of the screen when the display is off, and not too many people like that. But on the other hand, the Moto X, the body on this thing, again, metal frame. You can custom build whatever. I've got blue speaker grills to match the blue back. I had a blue trim there. This is just a all-around beautiful device. There's no getting around it. The body on this one feels better. It weighs less. It's got a metal frame. I mean, what more can you say? It's beautiful. I mean, there's just nothing that I don't like about the body on the Moto X. So another win for the Moto X as far as body goes. It's definitely the Moto X. So that's another one for the Moto X. Sound quality. Now this may have dual speakers, but the Moto X has a front firing speaker, just one, and it is really, really good. I mean, beyond good. It is really loud. I don't need to do any kind of samples or anything because there's so much things going on with copyright and things like that. I hate it. But the fact of the matter is, the Moto X, the Moto X may have just that one front firing speaker, but it is loud, and I mean it sounds crystal clear. This phone is good, but if you remember my review, the speakers are very tinty. They don't have much bass at all, and they fire out this way. So you know they sound great, but when put up against this phone, they don't sound as good. So solid speakers on here, but this one actually sounds a lot better. So another one for the Moto X. And I'm being completely fair, like I always do in every review, guys. So don't tell me I'm being biased, because the Moto X can't win every round. And the next one is probably going to shock a lot of people. It may not, but cameras. Here's where I feel like the Fire Phone just not destroys the Moto X, but takes much better pictures. And again, it leads me to believe, why are so many people sleeping on this device right here? The front camera and the rear camera on this thing are beautiful. They take some great pictures. It's easy to use. The Moto X takes great pictures. But unfortunately, I believe and I feel that all of my samples and testings that I did, this phone takes much better pictures. And that's the way I feel about it. So one for the Fire Phone, definitely cameras. The cameras on here, and a lot of people didn't like the Moto X's camera anyway. So, but I thought it was good. I think it's still good. But I still say that the camera goes to the Fire Phone. Okay, next we've got day-to-day processing of things. So daily use on this thing. Day-to-day use on both of these phones, I got to give this one to the Fire Phone. The Fire Phone runs its own OS. It's like stock. It has a stock OS. And so therefore it runs really smooth. And the crazy part is I can actually load Android on here if I want to, the Google services, I should say. But, you know, Lollipop is fast. There's no denying that. But when you put it next to the Fire Phone, the Fire Phone feels smooth. There's never any kind of lag, even this crazy carousel thing. It's just beautiful, man. The way it processes and handles things, I haven't had a crash on this device yet. But in turn, I've had some issues with the Moto X when I got it out the box. I was having just a few issues, nothing major, but the fact is, it's a stock phone, and this is a stock phone, and in day-to-day tasks, this stock phone performs better, to me, in my opinion, than the Moto X. So this phone is such smooth. It just kills it to me. It does very well. So chalk another one up for the Fire Phone. Next is features, and this is kind of a no-brainer, but features on the Fire Phone far exceed this device here, the Moto X. It definitely has way more features. You've got this dynamic perspective, and some can call it a gimmick if they want to, but I don't know. I think this is beautifully thought out. I think it's a beautiful phone. You can actually you can install Amazon things on this phone right here, but it's just not the same. Being able to go in here and look at everything, you've got all your stuff right there. Now, there isn't somewhat of an advantage because, if you're a Prime user, which I am, I just have some Amazon things installed on here, but it'll never be like the original source. It just feels fantastic with all these extra little, I guess I could call them gimmicks, but the added things that they have on the Fire Phone are really nice. Like this Firefly thing. I can scan an item and then it'll find it and tell me what it is. That's just beautiful. So everything on here is just, as far as gimmicky and features, and all phones have some kind of gimmicky feature, but the way they put this one together, all the little animations, the pro Amazon, this phone is all about Amazon, so it definitely wins in the feature category. So chalk another one up for the Fire Phone. So the last thing, well, I won't do that to you. Battery on here. So this one has a 2300 milliamp battery, and this one has a 2400 milliamp battery. The most I've been able to get on the Moto X is between 3 and 4 hours, and the 4 hours was pushing it. I mean, it really could not, it can barely handle it. So to compare that to the Fire Phone, on every charge, I got at least 4.5 hours. Truly amazing. So this is one that I'm pretty excited about. I've always, in all the videos that I did on the Fire Phone, the Fire Phone has fantastic battery. It's only a 2400 milliamp battery, but it's optimized with their operating system so well that it's just unbelievable, the battery life. I got over 5 hours of screen on time with about 11% left. And I posted videos on Google+, Instagram, and Twitter. So if you're not following me on there, it's always Mr. J.O. Williams. So battery life is a definite win for the Fire Phone. So chalk another one up for the Fire Phone. That's 4 for the Fire Phone and 3 for the Moto X. So how do I feel about call quality? And this is something that's important. This is a phone. Call quality on both of these phones is really good, but the Moto X has better call quality, and I think it's because of the speakers that they're using. The speakers on the Moto X are just phenomenal. The call quality is really clear, and you can tell that you're on an HD call. It's just that good. So call quality on the Moto X, no drop calls or anything. It's really nice. So chalk that one up to the Moto X. So 4 and 4, where should I draw the line? And I guess I'll draw the line on which one I like better. And I didn't do the 4 and 4 intentionally. I freestyle these reviews. I talk about something and, that's it. I don't have any kind of special plan, ahead of time. And I think that's the way reviews should be. You should just freestyle it. I mean, you got to prepare yourself, but at the same time, to be unbiased at all, you pick some topics and then you just recount how you felt about them at the time. So, which one do I like better? I to me, it's kind of to me, it's a no-brainer. But I like both phones, and then that's where it comes into play. It could get a little difficult. But I'm going to go ahead and give this one to the Moto X because the Moto X, it just, with it being able to be customized and there's a little bit more freedom here, it may cost more, but this device will probably be around a lot longer than the Amazon Fire Phone. The Amazon Fire Phone is struggling with sales because people don't know about the Amazon Fire Phone and they don't know how nice it really is. I do because I have it. For those that they're talking about the phone, giving reviews on it without buying it, I feel bad for them. Now, even though I'm giving this win to the Moto X by 1 point, it doesn't mean that the Amazon Fire Phone is a bad phone in any kind of way. The Amazon Fire Phone, if you check out the review on it, it'll pop up towards the end of this video. It is a phenomenal device, but there's no way possible that I could give a win to the Amazon Fire Phone over this phone. There's too much going for this phone. I like it way too much, and I like it better than the Amazon Fire Phone because I know that I have stock Android, and I know I'm going to get an update. The Fire Phone bests the Moto X in some areas, but it's not enough to make me want to spend $450 on this instead of $450 on this. So, you know, that's kind of where I can draw the line. And I also gave this a much higher rating in my full review. I gave this an 8.5. I think I gave this a 9.5 or 10, I believe. And I stand firm on that. I think the Moto X, if you were choosing between these two, would you pay $450 for this? Or would you pay $450 for this? Even though this is a 16 gig and this is a 32, which one would you pay $450 for? Which one would you pull out $450 for? And I think that's up to you to decide, but I would definitely pull out $450 for this, which obviously I've already pulled the trigger, but I would definitely choose this over this. I've dropped both of these. They both held up well, but I just recently dropped this one from about 5 feet, and man, it didn't crack the screen or anything. It didn't crack, and I was praying. But nonetheless, I got to give this win to the Moto X. Overall device, it'll be around a lot longer. It'll last, and I'm not tied down to just Amazon. I'm tied down to Android, which is a good thing to me. So take the L this time, the Amazon Fire Phone, but I'm going to put this phone up against some other phones that I have in the catalog, like the iPhone 6, and got another surprise one coming for you. So I will see you guys in the next video. I shot this in 4K, but I think I'm going to scale it down to 1080p. It'll still be crystal clear though, so I don't know. So stay tuned. I'm going to put some sample photos up from both phones, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.